Hello, and welcome to the Empowerography podcast. This is a platform created for women's voices to be heard and a place to share their stories, journeys, and successes with the world for the purpose of helping other women who might be on similar journeys. We are empowering women one episode at a time. I'm your host, Brad Walsh, so kick back, grab one of your favorite beverages, and enjoy the stories. If you've ever felt like your voice didn't matter, like your story wasn't worth sharing, you're not alone. At the Empowerography Live in-person conference this year, we brought together voices from around the world, women who chose to stand up, speak out, and share stories that changed lives. And here's the truth. Your voice matters too. If you've ever felt that pull to share your story as a guest on a podcast, to start your own podcast, or step into your power, this isn't random. It is your invitation. Head over to empowerographypodcast.com and see how you can turn your voice into impact, because your story isn't just yours. It's someone else's survival guide. Hello there, Brad Walsh here, your host of the Empowerography podcast, a platform that was created to help elevate and amplify the voices of women through sharing their stories. Today, my guest is Victoria Starr. She is a spiritual outlaw, a midlife midwife who guides women through the sacred season of reinvention using breathwork for transformation, guided microdosing, plant medicine support, somatic ritual, and emotional excavation. Welcome, Victoria. How are you doing today?
Great, Brad. Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited for this conversation.
It is my honor and my pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for taking and making the time to be here with me today. That was a mouthful. Midlife midwife. I had to slow down as I was doing that, but I am so grateful to have you here and excited to jump in and share about all the beautiful light you put out into the world through the work you do, as well as a bit about your story and your journey. Let's jump in and get this started. I have to start off by saying I absolutely love the title you have given yourself, the self-proclamation, or whether someone gave that to you or you're self-proclaimed, I don't know, but I love it, spiritual outlaw. When you look back at the woman you were before this work found you, who was she, and what parts of your life were quietly misaligned beneath the surface? And how did those misalignments begin to show up in ways that you could no longer ignore, even if on the outside everything appeared functional or even successful for that matter?
Wow. Okay. So first of all, I want to say, I'm in my mid-50s. And so the first half of my life, this person, this woman, this human that was here on this earth, she adapted to survive. She learned how self-abandonment became a survival pattern for her life. She was raised by a narcissistic mother, and she in turn created relationships with partners that mimicked those self-abandonment patterns. And she internalized every thought, every pattern, every word that she spoke for fear of doing it wrong and for fear of, let's just call it what it is, manipulation. And so I had over a decade of proving my worth in these high level endurance events, Ironman and ultra marathons. And so that worth, I look back now and I see that she was really reaching for her parent or her partner to really validate her worth. And she was always seeking this external validation and not realizing that this love, that through these partnerships, that she was seeking this safety that was always outside of her, but truly, really, it was within her. And that is how the functions of how she survived and how she lived the first half of her life, not knowing at the time that's what it was, Brad, but recognizing that now at midlife, wow, she was so brave and so freaking courageous. And also I have so much love and so much compassion for her survival patterns.
That had to be incredibly emotionally, spiritually, physically exhausting to be wearing those masks for the overachieving and holy shit. Yeah. But it's incredible that you have found the love for her and realized that this was part of your journey and it's helped shape who you are, the Victoria you are today.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that, reflecting that back to me.
Every transformational journey has a moment where that inner whisper becomes too loud. You can't turn the volume down anymore. Can
Mhm.
you walk us through that period of your life when you first began sensing that you were being pulled towards something deeper, bigger, and what resistance showed up to try and hold you to that identity that you had built?
Yeah. Oh, forgive me for being a little emotional here because
No, that's okay.
this does bring up some, again, it's the compassion and the empathy for the woman that I was. And I was living in Costa Rica at the time with my now ex-husband and lived this beautiful life from the outside looking in. I lived in the jungle. I lived close to the beach. I lived in an exotic land. And what began to unravel is I had been doing breathwork for transformation. So these breathwork modalities that are very somatic and opening, and I'm doing the heart, and I'm recognizing it's this cracking open of the armor that I had built around me. And so what had happened in Costa Rica is there was this one moment, and it wasn't just one moment in time, but it was a buildup of several moments that became the catalyst for receiving from the universe, Brad, this massive download that I will never abandon myself again. And I had been walking on the beach for about 2 miles with my dog, my chocolate lab, Olivia, and I received this massive download. You will never abandon yourself again. And it was really recognizing, what does that mean? And also, wow, I have been not in a sense of self-sabotaging, but really staying in this confining space of the illusion of this perfect life. And so I chose a very hard journey. I chose to unravel my life. I left Costa Rica. I left the abusive relationship and I came back to the States. And at that moment, it was, Brad, like everything had to fall together in this perfect domino effect to get out of country, to come back to the States because it was just past COVID time.
Right.
And it was really this sign from the universe. This is what I'm meant to be doing. And that's when I began to recognize that's my intuition speaking to me, because I never knew what my intuition was, let alone I'm thinking I'm in control of my life, when really creating this muscle within me of recognizing the intuition speaking to me that to follow this path. So I came back to the States, and for 10 months, I had the darkest nights of my life. And really to see that breathwork became my savior, and the unraveling and the learning. And then honestly, at that moment in time, I had to recognize, how do I keep myself safe? How do I trust myself? Who am I? I'm a woman in midlife. Who am I? I don't know who I am, because my daughter has flown the coop and she's off on her own. And now I've left this relationship and my whole world has just crumbled. So I chose a very outside of the box way to heal myself. I live full time in my van. It's a
Mhm.
Ranch Master. I've been doing this life for 4 years now with my chocolate lab, Olivia. She's literally my best friend, my soul companion. She hears all the stories, all the screams, but this tiny home on wheels has really been this huge growing opportunity for me to, now I know how to keep myself safe because there's no other choice, no one
Mhm.
else to rely on. And also listening to keep myself safe, I need to listen to my intuition, because there's moments in time where it's like, this is not the right place to park tonight. So
Right.
listen to that inner nudge, or that inner, it's sometimes it's this huge push of, we need to go someplace else.
Mhm.
Or, I mean, it's just been this huge opportunity for this midlife reinvention, this midlife of, I'm no longer playing to the rules and the expectations of society and the box that I have been put in. I am stepping outside, and that's why I call myself this spiritual outlaw. I'm stepping outside of the traditional system of how we are supposed to live and the expectations of society.
And that I applaud your courage and your strength and resilience, of course, for reinventing yourself, because that is not easy for anyone. And this is a very common thing that I'm hearing, anyways, in the conversations that I've been having as of late with women who are in that second act of their lives. It's they feel they have to reinvent themselves. And it's also common, I hear a lot too, that women in that second act feel invisible. They don't feel seen. They don't feel heard. And I mean, this is a common thing for women, period. But I think especially for women in that second act of their lives, this is a very common thing. And we need to change the perspective on that. And so kudos to you for having the courage to take the steps to completely, for lack of a better term, blow your life up and start again from the foundation and build it up. I think that's absolutely incredible. And it is a permission slip for other women to know that it's okay to do the same thing.
100%. I mean, you don't
It's
have
so powerful.
Yeah, you don't have to buy the van and live in a tiny home on wheels that travels around the country, but there is other ways to live this life. Like, it's outside of the box of the white picket fence and the house.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe for you, it's like moving to Portugal or spending time there, or I mean, there's so many opportunities that I think that we get stuck in this one modality of this human existence.
For sure. And that's because of all the conditioning that we have been forced into through the powers that be. And I think people are starting to awaken to see that, no, we don't have to follow this bullshit model of how we're supposed to live our lives. We can choose to live it any way we want, any way we see fit, any way that feeds and fills our desires.
Yeah, 100%.
It could be traveling around in a home on four wheels, or like you said, it could be moving to Portugal, it could be moving to Italy, it could be moving to Canada, for fuck's sakes. Whatever it is, you have the choice. And I think that's the most important thing, is to emphasize the fact that we all have choice. We can choose to do things differently. It's just whether you're able to find the courage and the strength to do it.
Yeah.
And to realize that it's possible, to have the awareness to realize that it's possible, and then taking the steps to make that happen for yourself.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
Before you became someone guiding women through reinvention, what were you personally holding together that was already beginning to fracture for you? And how did the emotional weight of maintaining that version of yourself start to impact the sense of truth and authenticity?
Brad, I reflected back on this question, and there was this quiet desperation, this pretending that everything was okay, this justifying in my mind that I should be happy because everything from the outside looking in was perfect. And that what I recognized too is that following the rules became so suffocating. There were moments of suicidal ideation. There were moments of wishing that my partner would be gone and from this human existence. And what I recognize is that was so heavy to hold, and that was so much to burden within my human existence. And my lights, my soul just became smaller and smaller and smaller. And it either had to crumble and implode, or I had to just suck it up and make it through till the next iteration, the next version, to the next move, to the next whatever it was. Yeah.
That's a lot to carry. It's a lot of weight to carry. It's a big burden to carry around.
Yeah, big burden. I often recognize I'm carrying this backpack, and in this backpack is this massive piano, and I'm like trudging along and I'm trying to climb up the hill. And can I allow myself to let go of this armor that had kept me in the safety of the patterns that I have created? Can I let that go? Can I put it down for a moment? Doesn't mean I have to put it down for an entirety. It's step by step. It's moment by moment. Can I put it down? Can I take something out and leave that version alone and let it go? And grieve that version and love that version and really see that, wow, she was doing the best that she could. She was so brave and so courageous. Yeah, but
for sure.
Something new.
Absolutely. Many people experience moments of disruption, but don't allow them to transform their lives. What was different about your experience that moved you from simply surviving the breakdown to actually letting it reshape your path entirely?
It was a deep unraveling of everything that I thought I was. It was searching for that self-trust. It was searching for that self-love. It was this complete identity breakdown and having that courage to move forward and to no longer numb. because honestly, like there was alcohol, there was shopping, or there was binging on Netflix. There was so much numbing, and it's like life just can't be this sadness and this disconnect. So it was on, and there's a big part of it is I'm going to mention too, like I have one daughter. She's turning 30, and it was really like I need to show up differently for myself because the relationship that I had with her was not good. It was not good. And the relationship that I have with my mother is very, there is no relationship. And I did not want that relationship with my daughter. So either the expectation of she needs to change because she's wrong, or looking internal and seeing how can I change and shift how I show up in the world so that our relationship can be different, because I want something different. I do not want to carry on this pattern of disconnect and this female ancestral generational lineage that we have.
Yeah, but that is huge self-awareness to realize, is to first of all to realize that you had to look within and make some changes, because most people don't want to, they don't take the time to sit with themselves and reflect and be introspective and go with it. Wait a minute, what's my part in this? Because I'm not completely innocent. There's two sides to every story, and we can't be blaming. When we point the finger and blame, there's three fingers pointing back at us. We have to accept some responsibility, and that takes a lot of strength and courage, but most importantly, self-awareness first, to realize, wait a minute, what's my part in this, and
Yeah.
what can I do to help heal or change this situation?
100%. Yeah. It's recognizing too, it's fearful. It's scary, that internal dialogue of how it speaks to you, and seeing that if you can disconnect from that internal dialogue and be the observer of that subconscious mind that has been programmed from the past, and know that you are this incredible human that has the opportunity to change those thoughts and those patterns. Like that is self-sovereignty. That is self-authority. That is like, so instead of shifting from the fear and that judgment of self, is like, how can we empower ourselves to change?
Yeah, for sure. That's a big step, though, to be able to step outside of yourself and look within and look in at the situation and find out, okay, what do I need to change? What can I shift here and do for myself, first and foremost, to change things, to make things better?
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
It's not easy. That inner work is tough. It's a hard road for sure.
Yeah. Not easy.
What internal permission did you have to grant yourself before you could fully embody the role of a guide for women navigating reinvention?
The deep acknowledgement that I have survived the darkest nights of my life, the darkest nights of my soul, and that I have gained the skills and the tools, and I'm not holier than thou, but I've gained this wisdom, Brad, that if I kept it to myself, it felt so incredibly selfish. Like I was ghosting and gaslighting other women out there as, ooh, I'm keeping it all to myself. That's not fair. That's not right. And that is what I know my purpose is here, is to be able to share and to guide other women. Here's a toolkit that you can use, because there's not one way that allows you to grow. There's so many vast modalities when life throws you these curveballs that you can use. Is it breath work? Is it microdosing psilocybin? Is it walking out in nature? Is it having a good sacred rage or scream inside your tiny home on wheel? It's that permission to use these tools so that the emotions don't stay trapped within the body. Because as we know now, we're learning that the body has held on to so many things, and as a woman in Gen X, we're taught to sweep the emotions under the rug and not to feel the emotions, and don't cry or I'll give you something to cry about. If we can learn that emotions are just simply energy moving through our body and allow it to move through our body in a healthy way, then it doesn't create the disease in our body. I'm really this big advocate and proponent that this entrapment of these feelings and emotions in our body, does it create cancer? Does it create Does it create all these other modalities, or not modalities, but diseases?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like that the body is, again, it's so incredibly wise that it's like, I can't do this anymore. Something has to change.
Yeah. The body is such a beautiful, magnificent creation. It is so powerful. We don't as a human race fully understand the power that we have within us, because we have everything we need within, and we have the power to heal ourselves.
Yeah.
And it is absolutely incredible, but we need to learn to treat our bodies with respect. And to your point, suppressing all of these emotions, the anger, the rage, the depression, the sad, all of it, it only is going to harm you. You are the one who's going to suffer the most through that. So
Yeah.
we need to learn to process and let the emotions flow through us when they come. Don't push them down. Don't stuff them down, because they are either going to stay there and get further tamped down within us and cause disease, or it's going to turn into a situation where you explode one day.
Right.
And the poor person that gets that explosion, that's not fair to them.
Yeah.
So we need to learn to stop suppressing our emotions and just it's okay to cry. It's okay to rage sometimes. As long as we're not hurting anyone, especially ourselves, then let the emotions out. They have to flow through you.
Yeah, exactly. I can't tell you how many temper tantrums I've had here in the van because something went discombobulated. But here's the really cool thing is that we have resources. Okay, my refrigerator broke in my van the other day. I'm going to tap into YouTube and type it in, and I have resources to seek out help.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing when we're feeling those emotions. How can you reach out for help? How can you ask for what you need? Because again, we have been so conditioned to don't be needy. Don't look like you're the one that's lost your marbles. Don't be off your rocker.
Don't ask for help.
Don't ask for help. Exactly.
You should be able to do it yourself.
Yeah. And
which is a big one for women.
Yeah. And that's one of my biggest lessons here in the van too, is I don't know electronics. I don't know any of that. So that has been a huge lesson for me, is like, all right, I've created these little hubs of people in van life, and the RV life is like, all right, my battery died. What do I do? Hey, can you help me? Can you walk me through this? Can you just hold me while I sob and try and figure it out? It's those little things that have been very instrumental in the second half of my life of going, I'm really creative. I'm really powerful if I just sit in the pause for a moment and have the patience in that pause and go, wow, I can figure this out.
And that's where the power lies, is in that pause, for sure.
Yeah.
When you first started integrating breathwork and somatic ritual or plant medicine into your own healing, what surprised you the most about the depth of what surfaced for you?
It's that generational healing, Brad. I had this powerful weekend session in the Santa Cruz Mountains. They're just magical by themselves. But I was in this safe place, because something that I'm very much an advocate for is, you already said it, we want, as humans, we want to be seen, we want to be heard, we want to be loved. And in that, we need to feel safe. So in this safety container, I recognized within this session that there is a long line of female lineage that had in my ancestry that has been so broken and so disconnected. And so in this weekend session, that I was able to go back to my mother, my grandmother, my great grandmother, even the women that I didn't know, and just offer forgiveness, offer acceptance, offer them the opportunity to grieve for what they weren't able to do for their daughters. And to know that, again, I don't have to carry that down anymore. I can hand that baton back to them, and they get to keep it because it's no longer mine. So it's almost as if I'm cutting that energetic cord to that disconnect and creating this resilience within me so that I can hand it forward in a different way.
A total unburdening.
100%. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
When you call yourself a spiritual outlaw, what rules did you have to break within yourself first before you ever broke them in the outside world? And what did it cost you to finally stop living inside those expectations?
It's those subconscious program belief patterns based on the generation that raised me. It's knowing that I'm not here to please other people. I'm not here to make you happy. I'm not here to seek my worth and my love through external accolades because I never received it. So, as a spiritual outlaw, I tried prior to calling myself a spiritual outlaw. I did talk therapy. I went through that route and I recognized, wow, this isn't working for me anymore. There's a
Mm,
place, there's a time, but I need something else. And what I recognized, the gift that my therapist gave me, was like, who is God to you? I don't believe in a God. I believe in a source and a universe and an energy and a power. And what that was for me, Brad, was being by the ocean, hearing and listening to the ocean speak to me. And so it was sitting in those quiet moments and being able to witness my thoughts and my feelings and going, wow, you're okay. You're resourceful. You're powerful. And can you listen to the universe, energy, God, source, universe, divine, whomever you believe in, and go, okay, there's something bigger than me. I don't have to figure it out by myself. I don't have control. And
mhm,
this illusion of perfection and this expectation from everyone else is, wow, I get to create that beauty within me, that
mhm,
love within me. And honestly, to expect somebody else to do that, like Brad, you're going through your own stuff.
mhm.
Somebody else is they're going through their own stuff. Expect somebody else to do that for me. That's a lot. That's a big burden.
It is, and it's our responsibility to unburden ourselves and to do the work. And yeah, it takes time. And again, it just goes back to the ability to sit with yourself and reflect and be introspective and think, okay, what do I need to do here? What needs to change? How do I change it and figure it out? And again, asking for help is a part of that. You can ask for help. It's okay. It's not as it's been conditioned into us that, and I think again, especially for women, that asking for help is a sign of weakness
Yeah,
when really it's the complete opposite. It's a sign of strength when you're able to ask for help and there's no shame in it. So
exactly.
it's shattering that bullshit illusion and that conditioning that we've all been taught. I mean, men and women alike. I think women carry it more.
Mhm.
Although I do think men have a very hard time asking for help because we are supposed to be the protectors and the hunters and gatherers and all these other bullshit titles that have been put onto us. And there's just a whole lot of conditioning and chains that need to be broken.
Yeah,
And we are the only ones that can break free of them for ourselves.
yeah.
We can
And
help others.
I do want to add on too, Brad. It has been very significant in my life to sit in this breathwork modality because it's a good 45, 50 minutes of going into these altered states of consciousness, literally without any psychedelics, without any
Mhm.
microdosing. It's really tapping into your internal belief system and to recognize, wow, that limiting belief happened. And this is where the subconscious programming comes in and reprogramming. It's like that belief happened because of XYZ.
Mhm.
Wow, that person that did that within my life, that inner child, having that parts work is like showing that version of you this love and this compassion and allowing them to let go of that burden. And here's the really cool thing when you microdose with psilocybin is like you're unlocking these new neural pathways within the brain. And when the breathwork and the microdosing are combined together, it's like you really have the ability and the power to change those subconscious limiting beliefs into something new. And so it's really stepping outside of that societal conditioning of how
Yeah.
healing is supposed to look.
We've been given this bullshit narrative that this is the only way that we can heal, and that is through Western medicine or the white coats or whatever you want to call them.
Mhm.
And sure, Western medicine has its place, absolutely. It's good for acute care, and but there are so many other modalities out there to help us, and it's a matter of, I think, through conversations like what we're having today, to plant seeds for people and to bring the awareness and to shine a light on these other modalities that can help you in your healing journey. And that healing journey is not linear. It doesn't have to look a certain way.
No.
Everybody's healing journey is going to look different.
Absolutely. And that's the really cool thing about midlife is like you have the choice, you have the power. And as a Gen X woman, like definitely being raised in that dare era where your brain's gonna fry when you're on drugs, like that's bullshit. That's a bullshit.
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
And like now science is coming out and it's proving otherwise. And that is what's so incredibly amazing about stepping outside of the paradigm of what healing should look like.
And in that midlife era, you have less fucks to give.
For sure, for sure.
You reach that point, right? What would you say is one of the biggest illusions that you see in your work that women are holding on to that prevents them from stepping into their next chapter?
The self-judgment, the fear, the anxiety, the depression, like it can become like this vice grip on you. And that's all I know. And I'm scared to step out of, even though it's really fucking uncomfortable, I'm really scared to step out of this known that is not working. So also there's this self-judgment of I'm broken, I need to be fixed. And that's not the case. It's just this veil that has been put on you layer after layer from years of self-sabotage or trauma or just numbing and suppressing. So can we allow this lifting of this veil and give love and compassion to the former versions of ourselves so that you can step through? So it's unlocking that Rubik's Cube, that perfection. No, you're not broken. And truly, there is no perfection. Perfection's an illusion. So
Yeah.
can you let go of that self-judgment that you have to be perfect? And can you allow that fear to loosen its grip? Because, hey, I'm here. I got you. I've done this. And let's walk this together, shoulder to shoulder. And it's that permission slip and that invitation that you can do this. It's stepping into, it's very hard stepping into that empowerment piece and that courage and that bravery and letting go of unlocking that armor.
That's letting go of a lot of years of shit. And it's not an easy thing to do. And I cannot stand that term fix when we're talking about people. Nobody's broken. Nobody.
Broken.
We just need support. We need help. We need guidance, whatever other word you want to use, but nobody is broken. Nobody.
Yeah.
We need to change the narrative around that word.
Exactly. We're souls that have come into this human body. And whether we have been here many different iterations and many more to come, like, how can we, in this iteration, how can we see that we're so beautiful and so worthy in this iteration? And that
you are magic.
You are
magic. We're all magic.
Yeah. And that's lifting the veil of the societal expectations and the shoulds and the supposed to be's. And
fuck yes.
Yeah. 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 And bravery and courage, one tiny micro step at a time.
That's the other thing too, is that people want these massive results right away. They want the magic bullet, the quick fix, and it doesn't exist. It is about baby steps. And if you take that one step at a time, those compound. And by the time you know it, you've climbed the staircase and you're at a different level. And so we need to shift that mindset that we want everything now. It's not the way it works, especially with healing. The healing journey, that's exactly what it is, a journey. There isn't a destination. You never reach the end. It's always constant because we as humans are constantly evolving and growing and expanding. So there's always going to be stuff to heal. There's always going to be work to do, whatever word you want to use. We don't ever arrive, but I think it's realizing that.
Realizing, like, how long did it take you to get to this point? How many decades have passed?
Yes.
So you think that it's going to be solved in this quick fix.
Exactly. You're not going to change 20, 30, 40 years of, or undo 20, 30, 40 years in 24 hours. That's not the way, that's incredibly unrealistic. It's not going to happen.
No, in 24 hours, 3 months, it's this journey. I've been in the van for 4 years. And it's constantly evolving. It's constantly showing up for myself. And I don't say that as constantly, it's this vice grip on me, but it's this, I'm choosing to do this. I'm choosing to show up for me because my why is so much greater than where I'm stuck.
I mean, that's not to say you can make huge strides. Absolutely you can. But it's going to take time. We have to learn the skill set of patience.
Yeah.
Because it's not an easy journey.
Especially in this world now that we have instant access to everything.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. Why do you think that midlife is such a powerful portal for women? And why do so many try to bypass it instead of stepping fully into it, do you think?
I'm going to come back to it's the fear. It's the fear of tearing down the walls, those armors that we've spent a lifetime of building, and the self-judgment, that shame, that that grief. And they try to bypass it. I don't think you can bypass it. It's you have these whispers within you, and if you listen, you can hear this whisper of, is this all there is? Is this all there is? Who was I, Brad? Who was I before I became a wife? Who was I before I became a mom? Who was I before I became an entrepreneur? What were my dreams? What were my desires before those hats had to be moved around at every moment of every day? So it really comes back to that fear, and you can bypass it. But my question for you is, when you get to the end of life, what, and this comes from my father. My father died of COPD in 2018, and literally saw in his eyes this massive amount of regrets. So at that time, it became this question for me is, and this is when I was still married in the abusive relationship, Brad, is like, am I going to get to the end of my life having regrets? Am I going to get to the end of my life going, what if? And that's the question that I want to propose is, instead of bypassing it, ask yourself that hard question. Will I have regrets? Yeah.
And that is not a way you want to leave this world, for sure.
No. Because if you think about it, do we really know that we're coming back? Some of us may know that we came back. Some of us may know that we have been here, but this is it. This is a short in time.
Yeah. This is your one shot. So make it the best fucking shot you can take.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do all the things you want to do. Do everything that lights your soul on fire. And I know it's easier said than done, but you have the ability. Again, we always have a choice. It's up to you what you do with that choice and which choice you make. But make the best of this opportunity that you have. I think we're alive now in this current moment. One of the greatest times to be alive. Yes, there's a lot of shit going on in the world. Absolutely. It feels like the world is on fire. But I also think that on the flip side of that is one of the greatest times to be alive because we have access and the ability to do so much in this life. Anything is possible. If you can dream it, you can do it. It is possible. You just have to believe.
Yeah. You have to believe, and you have to have the courage and the bravery, and then also to be able to sit in the duality of the both and.
Yeah.
There's the both, because the emotions, the fear comes up and it's like, oh, then I want to do this. And then there's this adventure. And then there's the resistance from the ego mind of, wait, you need to play it safe. But then leaning into that intuition, oh, this road feels so much better. So it's like being able to sit in the duality of the both and having the dance in the in between.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So if midlife is actually a sacred initiation, what are the signs that a woman is being called into it, even if she's resisting it?
It's the knock on the door that, wow, life is really short. You're in the second half of your life or less. Oh, it's time. The clock is no longer a tap, but it's like a rapture on your door. It's, wow, it's growing short. Are you sure this is all there is for you? Yeah.
There's less road in front of us than there is behind.
Yeah. So are you sure you want to keep numbing your life away? Are you sure you are okay being in this space of, that's all I got?
Get on your fucking Harley and ride. Be the badass that you're here to be. Fuck, you got less time left.
Yeah, I like to say I want to skid sideways. I want to get the end of my life skidding sideways into the grave going, holy shit, what a fucking ride.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
What part of a woman usually dies in midlife so that the real version of her can finally be born?
The pretending that we have to be this perfect person, that we have to suck it up, that we have to push through, the pretending of worrying what other people think. And this, I'm done performing. I'm done doing 6 Ironmans just to perform for you to say that you love me. I'm done with that. And to recognizing these coping mechanisms that you have within you is really no longer protecting you, but it's actually hurting you. It's harming you. It's keeping you small. It's keeping you in this illusion of this safety. Can we step away from this performing? Can we step away from this pretending that I'm okay? Yeah.
Less fucks to give.
Less fucks to give. I love it. I love it.
In the work that you do with women, you use, again, as I said, breathwork, somatic ritual, plant medicine. These aren't just surface level tools. What emotions tend to surface first when women finally stop numbing and start actually feeling and stepping into that?
I feel like the first one that comes up is the shame. Is the shame that that I didn't do things the right way. For in my case, the shame for me came up when I distanced myself from my daughter. The shame that, oh, I'm right and she's wrong and she needs to fix herself. Then there becomes that self-judgment of, wow, I'm not perfect. And then the next level is this grief. Oh my gosh, I'm so sad. And it's these feelings that, can we let go of the label and allow these feelings to flow through us and not label them as shame, judgment, grief, resentment? Can we see these feelings of, you did the best that you could with the tools that you had, you survived in those moments, and now you have chosen differently. I am so forgiving this version of you. I am so loving of this version of you. Now you get to go. It's almost like you get to go and play, because I am here now being in this space of fear and really still leaning into this vulnerability so that I can move forward with this authenticity to take radical responsibility of, I did you wrong. I wasn't the best version of me. Yes, I was broken, and I'm here to do different. I'm here to show up different, and I want to have the hard conversations. I have full body goosebumps right now. I want to have the hard conversations, and I want to sit with that uncomfortableness, because what I know is that you're living your life in a different way that I am. Your soul is different than my soul. We're not all, I think for me, there is this, oh, we're all this one soul, but we're all different sectors of this bigger picture. And oh, can I be in my soul's essence and allow you to be in your soul's essence? And no, sometimes they don't need to combine. Sometimes there is no, I don't know. I have this hard thing about this twin flame, or you're my soulmate. Is no, I'm a soul, you're a soul. And we're here doing this life. And how can we do this dance together with the tools that we have without projecting our bullshit onto somebody else?
Which we love to do as humans.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
When women start working with you, they start doing this work with you, what identity do they usually have to let go of first?
I want to say, Brad, that this is a hard question for me, because I sat with this question and there is no usual. I come back to, we're all so vastly different. And what we think the problem is never the root of the challenge. And it's not a problem. It's simply a lesson that we're learning and unpacking. So there is no usual with the women that come to me. They'll come to me with XYZ, and then we unpack it, and then we get even deeper. And then it's, oh, wow, through this parts work and this forgiveness and this resilience within self is like, I don't even remember that little person in me that went through that. Can I offer that person love and grace? And then that becomes this, almost as if this letting go of the trauma that had happened to her and releasing that energetic grip hold that it had onto her, and allow that to be taken back from that person that projected their trauma onto that person that I'm holding in this space. So it's so vastly different for every woman.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for sharing that and explaining that.
Yeah.
You use the phrase exquisitely real moments. What does that look like when a woman finally stops pretending and starts speaking her truth, finds her voice and starts using it?
I have this woman that is a dear friend of mine that I held her in her space of, and she's open to sharing in sexual abuse from a caregiver. And what I recognized in her, it was so incredibly powerful to see this liberation, to see the freedom within her, to see almost as if, as I go back to that piano backpack that she was carrying, she literally put it down and her whole entire light, her whole entire heart just opened to the world and really stepped into the no fucks given, really began to use her voice, because as a person in sexual abuse, they shut down their voice. And so what she was able to advocate for herself, she liberated, her boundaries became more honest, her freedom of, I'm going to speak my truth without worrying about what you're going to do or say, or because how you react is not my responsibility.
Yeah.
And so it's really this liberation and this freedom. And whether it's from ADHD, whether it's from sexual abuse, whether it's from high performance, whether it's from being an engineer in a high company, it's really comes down to, wow, I feel free. I feel free.
Freeing yourself. That's it.
Yeah.
That freedom
Yeah.
from all the chains and the burden and that weight that you're carrying.
Yeah. And it's not to say it's not for the rest of your life after you do that, it's rainbows and butterflies, but
No.
it's really this new ability to be able to use the voice, to be able to set the boundaries, to be able to advocate for yourself. What do I need? I need help. Or, hey, I need to take a walk in the woods because I'm feeling XYZ. It's having this freedom and this liberation for self and this ability to take care of you first.
And that's what it is. And again, this is something else that's tied into the conditioning, is that, and especially for women, yet again, you have to look after everyone else first. You get the crumbs, you get what's left over. And no, it is not the way it is. We need to shift that narrative. And I think people are starting to wake up, women especially, to realize that it doesn't have to be this way anymore. I am putting myself first. That is not selfish. That is actually selfless.
Yeah. Yeah.
And self-love by putting yourself first.
Self-love 100%. That's a really hard one to do too, is just yourself. What does that look like? Yeah. Ask your
for sure.
Like, what does that feel like? Is it just taking an afternoon and just reading a book? Is it
taking a nap if you're tired?
Taking a nap. Oh, I don't have to push through. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't have to work harder and suck it up. Oh, I can just be here in this afternoon in the sunshine and feel this present moment, because truly, honestly, that's all we have.
Yes, absolutely. The past is gone.
The past is gone. The future is not yet here. We have no idea if we're going to be here in 10, 20, 30 years, let alone tomorrow. So this is the present moment. How can we sit and be in this present moment? Because this is what gives me joy. This is what gives me happiness. And
this is all we have, is this present moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love the term that you use to describe your work as emotional excavation. That is such a powerful term, and it creates a very powerful visual when I say those two words. What does it look like when a woman encounters parts of herself she has suppressed for years? And how do you help her stay present with what emerges during that process?
Yeah, this emotional excavation, it does give me such visuals also, Brad. It's creating this safe space for her, because like I said, as humans, I have seen, especially within myself, I want to be seen, heard, and loved. And so creating this safe space where you can be seen, heard, and loved. I'm not here to fix you. I'm not here to tell you that you need to do this. I'm here to help you unpack it. And whether it's that, I had a client yesterday, we did a coaching session where she came to me with a lot of heaviness. It wasn't where I thought we were going to show up in the coaching session. And I'm like, all right, we're here, right now. How can I gift you this moment in time for you to do the sacred rage? I call it swamping. So I have a playlist where she gets to swamp. She doesn't have to be on camera. She gets to pound on the bed. She gets to scream in the pillow. She gets to do some somatic, that emotional excavation, so it comes out of her body. And then within her microdosing and her breathwork, somatic breathwork that we can go into this parts work if her nervous system feels safe enough to do it. It's not about forcing and diving in and reliving the trauma. Never, ever want anyone to relive that trauma, because your mind, your subconscious mind, does not know the difference between the past, the present, and the future.
Yeah.
So how can we create this safe space so that this version of her, go back to that same client, can be the observer of what's happening within her, and to remind her, hey, you are not your thoughts. You are not your limiting beliefs. These are based on past stories that your ego, your subconscious mind, had to keep you safe. So as the observer, you can begin to look down and see and love and shift those patterns. And so that is part of that safety that we create, so that she can have this invitation to emotionally excavate.
Again, that visual is just so powerful. I love it. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
We've been talking a lot about conditioning. We're conditioned to fear the unraveling, of course, but you actually guide women into that process of unraveling. What do you think is on the other side of falling apart that most people never experience because they stop too soon?
Yeah. First, I'm going to say, at midlife, I don't know that we can stop the unraveling. I mean, if we go put our head in a hole like an ostrich, maybe we could stop that unraveling, but it's gonna unravel most generally is what I see. But once they step through this other side, it's that liberation and it's that freedom again. But also what I see within them, Brad, is this inner glow. I see this confidence that they step into. It's almost like they're putting on a pair of Louboutin shoes. That's my favorite. Van life, you wouldn't think that it'd be Louboutin shoes. But it's like they step into their favorite outfit and they feel empowered. They feel this confidence. And then that reflects as this ripple effect outside of them. And it really begins to spread into the people that they surround themselves with, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's people at the grocery store, at the bank, or it's just this beautiful ripple effect that becomes this magic. Yeah.
Beautiful ripple effect. I love it.
Yeah.
What misconceptions and resistance do you encounter from women who are curious but hesitant about taking this path and doing this type of work?
First, I'm going to come back to, it's not a quick fix. It's not that take a pill and you're going to feel better. It's not, and I'll lean into the microdosing of the psilocybin. It's like, you're not just going to take the psilocybin and you're going to be free and happy. Even if you do a bigger dose of psilocybin, it is a journey of this unpacking. It is integration of the work that we have done together. So when we sit in the space of breath work, when we sit in the space of microdosing, what are the tools and the steps that you're going to use outside of our time together that you can keep creating these new patterns within the subconscious mind so that the shifts stick and stay? And also there's this illusion that midlife is this crisis. It's not a crisis. It's, I mean, okay, maybe you're going to go out and buy that convertible BMW.
I think that's more of a man thing.
Wait a minute, I did it. BMW.
Typically, though, the whole midlife crisis thing and going out and buying the sports car, that's typically a man thing, which is so funny.
Yeah, it's not a crisis. Can we shift that labeling? Can we shift that societal, that limiting belief is that it's this beautiful unraveling, and that, yeah, it's the check in with yourself to see what beliefs that you have been told about the modalities that you want to use, and who are you hearing these beliefs from, and have they done the inner work? Have they done the work, or are they going based off biased drama, trauma media?
It is the reinvention. And I've heard so many women say that, fuck that, this is just the beginning. I'm just starting. I am just getting started. Never mind this, once you get past 50, out to pasture kind of bullshit narrative. It's fuck that, I'm just getting started. My life is just beginning, because it is a new chapter. It's a new phase. And you're starting from the beginning, except starting from the beginning this time, you have tons of experience behind you to tap into and to utilize to move forward and to step into that next chapter and embrace all the badass that you are.
Yeah, 100%. And it's, again, I come back to that. We don't have to push through. Just slow down. Slow down. Even though the clock seems to be ticking faster, can you slow down and can you pause in that presence? And can you really sit in this moment? So it's like the misconceptions are it's not a quick fix. And microdosing psilocybin is not bad. It is not addictive. We're not in a crisis at midlife, and no more pushing through. Yeah.
Take the time to pause, that pause. For those who have silenced their intuition or don't remember it's there, we might as well say, because that's really what happens.
Yeah.
What would you invite them to consider about when they first stop trusting themselves?
This question is very interesting because it's something that I really had to sit with too. And where intuition is a muscle. So we've had a lifetime of suppressing our intuition. I had a lifetime of suppressing my intuition based on how I was supposed to show up for everyone else. And once you start listening to that tiny little whisper that tells you will no longer abandon yourself again, or the big 2x4 that hits you upside the head that says XYZ, like it's taking one small micro step to listen to that intuition, to follow that guidance, even in that unknown. Because the more that you can do that, you're building this muscle, and that creates the change within the subconscious mind that it is safe to listen to your intuition and to no longer have to run on those past subconscious limiting belief patterns. So again, it's like this fork in the road. Are you going to choose to listen to the old way that wasn't working, or are you going to maybe 10% today trust that intuition that says to take this road? And maybe that's what it is too, is if you go to work the same way every single time, can you take a different route and see the beauty of that route? And that creates this muscle of, oh, this intuition, my intuition, where do I feel it? Where is that? Is it a hit on the upside of the head? Is it in the heart? Brene Brown says it's her intuition's in her heart. For me, it's in my gut, and it's full body goosebumps. So it's what are those subtle little signs that we have suppressed over a lifetime that maybe we can start listening to?
Yeah, remembering and trusting and learning to trust and allow, let it happen. And you're right, the self-awareness, pay attention to where you feel it when you get that little nudge, because it's there. We all have intuition within us. It's just a matter of remembering it for those who have disassociated from it or learned not to trust it.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of retrusting it again.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah.
When a woman is afraid to disrupt her life, even though she knows something isn't right, what would you ask her to contemplate about the difference between comfort and alignment?
Coming to the end of life, asking yourself, I wish I would have. I wish I did. Is I have these regrets. It is sitting with that loving compassion of, can I be a little bit more courageous? Can I change? It's like stepping into that bravery, stepping into that courageousness. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. How do women begin to trust their inner knowing when they've spent years prioritizing external validation?
Yeah, I think we just touched on that, is building that muscle of your inner knowing, is building that tiny little microscopic step that takes you 1% into that unknown, that you're trusting God, source, universe, divine. You're able to shift the trajectory just a little bit. It's not all at once. It's growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips or tricks that you recommend to the women you work with to start to remember that intuition? Is there any little things you can suggest?
Yeah, for sure. If you can sit in that pause, but it's not to spiral into the thoughts that's happening. It's to, what was that first hit that you got? What was that first reaction that you got? And to lean into that. There's this duality of the pause and the duality of, oh, that just came in. Let me listen to that. So it's this beautiful dance of just slowing down.
That's a fucking tough one. When you're thinking about something and the first thing that comes to mind, that's usually what your intuition is telling you. But then you start questioning, is that really? Is that real? Should I? And then the questioning starts, right? So it's about what you said earlier, looking at sitting with yourself and remember and feeling, where did you feel it? Where does that come in for you? And what is it?
Yeah.
But that trusting piece is so fucking hard.
It's so hard. And here's what you just did for those that are just listening is Brad just closed down his eyes. And I closed down my eyes. So it's closing down your eyes and feeling. Because again, we come back to the body is so innately wise. What are you feeling versus what is your mind thinking? Because here's what happens is the body speaks first. Then the mind comes in, right? And then the mind takes over because that's our mind wants to go what's predictable, what's safe, and what's known. So it's closing down the eyes, maybe sitting in the sunshine and feeling first.
Love it. Thank you for those tips.
Yeah.
So many women reach midlife and feel like they've done everything right, yet they still feel disconnected. What lie do you think women have been sold about fulfillment and that midlife brutally exposes?
Perfectionism. Perfectionism is an illusion. Who's perfect? Who's perfect in whose eyes? Who says what's perfect? And that we have to prove ourselves, that we have to reach the top of the CEO ladder, that we have to spend 80 hours a week at work to prove our worth. And the work harder, suck it up. And what I think midlife shows us is that there becomes this loneliness piece that happens, this loneliness in this success that I reached the top of the ladder and I have limited everyone else around me. I have kept them at arm's length and I'm really freaking lonely up here. And I think that's what midlife shows us is, wow, all right, it's not I did it wrong, but can I let go of this perfectionism? Can I let go of this armor of having to prove myself because I don't want to get hurt? Yeah.
Take the masks off.
Take the mask off and stop worrying about what other people think.
Less fucks to give.
Less fucks.
I see a theme here.
Yeah, but here's the thing is like, how many seconds does a person that you don't know, especially on social media, spend thinking about what you did? Like in reality, they're thinking about what they did. And that's what this bin is all about. I'm thinking about what I did. I'm thinking about what I did, not what you did.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. If you wanted listeners to walk away deeply reflecting on their potential, what final question would you leave them with that lingers long after the conversation ends, after they finish listening?
Sit down, close your eyes. And in the backs of your eyelids is your internal universe. And in your internal universe, a movie begins to play. And this movie is playing a projector of your entire life. And in your entire life flashes on this movie projector from the day you were born to the day that you are at the end of your life. And I ask you, where are you regretting? Is it having a disconnect from someone you love, someone in your family? Can you heal that? Can you shift that? Can you change that? Is it, I wish I would have taken this dream vacation. Maybe I don't have the funds to take that dream vacation, but can I make this dream vacation? Let's say it's in Hawaii, in the backyard of my home. Can I put up the blow up palm tree? Can I put up the kiddie pool? Can I make myself the pina colada and imagine as if I am sitting in Hawaii? So I ask you, when you get to the end of your life and you see this movie projector playing on the backs of your eyelids on this movie screen, are you sure you lived life to the fullest, fully on fire?
Love that. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
What do you think your unique skill set or superpower is that's helped you become successful?
Understanding that humans, and this is a learned lesson, understanding that humans need to be seen or want to be seen, heard, and loved, and having that capacity to be able to do that for other women, other people. I am a reflector in human design. I just learned that in my life. And if you don't know what that is, like we're 1% of the world, but we are this mirror of who you are. We can reflect back to you the light that we see within you. And so as I've gotten to the second half of life, Brad, like I have really tapped into this inner knowing that I have this skill set to be able to show you that you're this magical freaking being and you're here on this earth. And how can you step into this life fully on fire, fully alive?
Beautiful superpower. I love it.
Yeah.
How do you define success?
Success for me is sitting with the feels, sitting with the uncomfortable, sitting with the waves of life as it throws this duality and these changes at us, and it's for us. It's this success also for me is self-forgiveness, because the more I can forgive myself, the more I can forgive the person that projected their trauma on me. Success is setting the boundaries that work for me and being able to advocate for myself. What do I need? What do I desire? And recognizing that success is also understanding that we're all humans on this journey of this life, doing the best that we possibly fucking can.
Love it. What does the word empowerment mean to you?
Being okay with the pivots. Being okay with the pivots of life, because I feel like we have so many choices and life can hand us these pivots. And if we can surrender, the empowerment piece is surrendering to the pivot and allowing the pivot to show us the next iteration and to release that illusion of control. So that empowerment is like taking the vice grip off and surrendering and going, okay, I am here. I surrender. I am still going to do what I need to do, take care of myself. But I am here to be this vessel. And this empowerment piece is, okay, what's next? This pivot could go down this lane or this pivot can go down this lane, and I choose. So that's empowerment for me.
Beautiful. Okay, we're going to jump into a little rapid fire section. So the next grouping of questions just be 1, 2, 3, 4-word answer type thing, okay? If you could set up a billboard anywhere, where would you put it and what would it say?
It would say, I love you, I see you, and it would be everywhere.
If you came with a warning label, what would yours say?
Holy shit, watch out.
If you could teach the world one thing, what would it be?
To love yourself.
One book that changed your life.
Glennon Doyle, Untamed.
If you could be remembered for one thing, what would it be?
Laughter, joy.
What is one thing you love about yourself that is not related to your physical appearance?
The ability to have the desire to learn and to grow and to continue to evolve.
One word that defines the woman you are becoming.
Wise.
That concludes the rapid fire section. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. I created a bonus question that I did not send you ahead of time. How do you define love, both the kind you give and the kind you receive?
That is such a magical question, because earlier this spring I was asking everyone I knew, what is love? Because as a Gen X woman, I grew up on the Disney Cinderella, Prince Charming, and love is the man comes in and saves you and you live happily ever after. And I grew up on the 80s, love ballads, Air Supply, Journey, Foreigner. And so I asked these questions to men and women. What is love to you? And what I'm really recognizing, we all have different iterations of what love is, but it's this energy. I think we've become so constricted in the letters LOVE that if we take that away from it, that word, that label, that it's this energy, it's this frequency, it's this spaciousness that comes out of our heart. And for me, that is love. Nature is love. Animals are love. People are love. It's this energy. It's this frequency.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
What is your why?
My daughter. My daughter, 100%. She's my why. She turns 30 this weekend, and we've had hard conversations. We've had moments in our life where we didn't talk to each other, and she has seen how much I've grown, how much I've evolved. And I tell her over and over again, it's because of her. It's because that I want to be a better human for her, to show her that there is a different way, that it does not need to be passed down, the trauma that was passed down onto me, and to create these new patterns for her to see and to choose for herself what resonates with her so that she can move forward with this generational lineage.
That is a beautiful why. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
If you could step into my shoes, what is the one question you would have asked yourself that I didn't ask you?
If you had a time machine and you only could go back and forth one time, would you go forward or back?
Okay, go ahead.
I feel like I would want to go. I feel like I would want to go back, Brad, and I don't know that I would want to come back. That's the crazy thing. I want to go back into the tribal, wise, ancestral, like Maria Sabina era, these tribal women that were in the teepee and they were sharing their knowledge and they were sharing their wisdom they were the elders, and that's where I would go. And that's where I would be with that peace pipe and that nature aspect, and knowing that these women, they had roles and they served their community so well.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you had the opportunity to sit down and have a 1-hour conversation with one woman, any woman in the world, who would it be and why?
Okay, so I'm going to merge Tina Fey and Amy Poehler. Honestly, truly, I just want to laugh my ass off for an hour. I can't choose. I just want to laugh my ass off for an hour and have those gut visceral belly laughs.
I fucking love that movie, Sisters. Oh my God. I have watched that movie 4 or 5 times. It is so fucking funny.
So good. If we can just bring more joy and laughter into our life, we wouldn't be so serious.
Yeah, that's what we need. We need more laughter. We need more joy. We're here for a short time. So laugh your ass off. Laugh as much as you can.
Yeah.
It is the best medicine.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that piece of advice be?
You are not defined by your mother's trauma. You were so much more than the projections that were placed upon her. You were so beautiful. You were so loved. And to really encourage her to allow her light to shine much sooner than midlife. Yeah.
Lastly, if you were to deliver your last 30-second speech to the world, your corner of the world, your tribe, your people, what would that last 30 seconds sound like? What words of wisdom would you impart?
Skid sideways into the grave going, holy shit, what a fucking ride. I did the best that I could, and I am more empowered for it.
Love it.
Yeah. Brad.
That's okay. Amazing. Beautiful way to end the interview. Victoria, thank you so much for taking and making the time to be here with me today, for showing up and shining your bright, beautiful light, for sharing the beautiful light that you put out into the world through the work you do, through all the women you help. I am grateful to call you a friend, to have you as a member of the Empowerography community, and for your time, for sitting with me, for inviting me to sit with you and sharing your wisdom, your insights, your experiences, and your knowledge. I've enjoyed every moment of our conversation. Thank you so much for being the beautiful soul you are.
Thank you so much, Brad. I am so incredibly grateful to be in your space and to be in your world, and know that you are on a trajectory for men to be a light, for them to see that we can live life differently in these genders.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I receive that and appreciate that.
Yeah.
Once again, my name is Brad Walsh, host of your Empowerography podcast, a platform that was created to help elevate and amplify the voices of women through sharing their stories. Today, my guest is Ms. Victoria Starr. She is a spiritual outlaw, I love that term, and midlife midwife who guides women through the sacred season of reinvention using breathwork for transformation, guided microdosing and plant medicine support, somatic ritual, and emotional excavation. Thank you so much, Victoria. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends. You can find me at viseuphoria.ca and follow me on Instagram at Empowerography Podcast and on Facebook at Empowerography. Please join me next time for another inspirational story from yet another amazing woman.